Joe Biden is now the official presidential candidate of the Democrats. The 77-year-old was formally nominated on Tuesday. This was during the Democratic National Convention. The event saw speeches by several rising stars and leaders. Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, shared her husband's story. She said Biden leaned on faith to get through the hardest times. Elevator operator Jacqueline Brittany had a powerful testimony for Biden's humanity. She said, and I'm quoting, "In the short time I spent with Joe Biden, I could tell he really saw me." Former Democratic presidential nominee John Kerry, former President Bill Clinton were among the other speakers. But guess who took the cake? Singer John Legend. Here are the highlights from day 2 of the Democratic National Convention.
Tonight is all about leadership. This unprecedented moment calls for leadership.
Delaware is proud to cast its 32 votes for our favorite son and our next president.
Our friend, Delaware's Joe Biden.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all. It means the world to me and my family. And I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I saw him steel himself in the mirror, take a breath, put his shoulders back, and walk out into a world empty of our son. He went back to work. That's just who he is.
She loves fiercely, cares deeply. Nothing stops her when she sets her mind to getting something right. And you know, for all of you out there across the country, just think of your favorite educator who gave you the confidence to believe in yourself. That's the kind of first lady this Jill Biden will be.
A presidential election is the world's most important job interview. At the end, we hire a leader to help us solve problems, create opportunities, and give our kids better tomorrows.
I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America.
So I'm not worried about us, and I'm down the road. We know how the story ends. We will never break. We will never break. Build on our foundation, strong enough to stay.
You heard one of the leaders endorse Bernie Sanders and not Joe Biden. Anyway, the state of Maryland was represented by a 20-year-old Indian American. Her name is Bianca Shah. She's responsible for the Biden campaign's outreach to South Asians. Picking her to represent Maryland was the campaign's gesture to accommodate minorities, Indian Americans in particular. And here's why. As the race to the White House gains momentum, the Indian Americans are emerging as one of the strongest vote banks in the U.S. Let me give you some numbers. At least 10 Indian Americans hold public offices in the United States. The number is unprecedented. Indian Americans make up 1% of the U.S. population, but they own 1/3 of all Silicon Valley startups. 8% of America's high-tech firms were founded by Indian Americans. Consider all of America's Fortune 500 companies, 2% of them are led by Indian Americans. The examples include MasterCard, Microsoft, Alphabet, Adobe, and IBM. One in every 7 doctors in the U.S. is of Indian descent. According to some estimates, half of America's motels are owned by Indian Americans. And this section also happens to be very affluent. The median income of an Indian American household is higher than that of other Asian communities. There are around 1.8 million Indian American voters in the U.S. The question is, who will they vote? Trump or Biden? Traditionally, the vote bank has leaned towards the Democrats. And this election season, too, not much has changed, it seems. According to a recent survey, 65% of Asian Americans have decided to vote Biden. 34% support Trump. The remaining 1% support other candidates. The Indian American vote bank could make a huge difference in the swing state of Texas. Their votes would also be significant in Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. But you know what they say? Surveys and opinion polls often go wrong. Both Democrats and Republicans know that they cannot rely on estimates. The parties are going out of their way to woo Indian Americans. On the 4th of August, the Trump campaign announced the formation of a group called the Hindu Voices for Trump. 2 days later, the Democratic National Convention organized an interfaith service. Representing the Hindus was prominent leader Nilima Gonuguntla. And I won't be surprised if in the coming days the campaign start organizing virtual pujas. We'll have to wait and see.